let's talk about this box set. Ahoy hoy everybody, and welcome to a long promised video. So for my birthday in 2019, March 2019, I was fortunate enough to receive this box set from my mother. Disney Classics 1937 to 2018 Blu-ray box set. Although saying that, there's 55 discs in here, only 50 of them are Blu-ray, 5 of them are DVD, because those titles have never been released on Blu-ray in the UK. I'm not sure if they've been released on Blu-ray elsewhere, but certainly not in the UK. And these are the 55 animated Disney Classics films. They have been numbered by Disney. These are our classic films. That numbering does differ depending on where you are. Basically, it's fine all the way up until number 46, I believe, which everywhere else, or most other places, is the film Dinosaur. However, that flopped in the UK, and so number 46 here is The Wild, which was a film that Disney didn't actually make, they just distributed, but in the UK that counts as a Disney animated classic. There's also the more recent Winnie the Pooh film, which counts as a classic elsewhere, but not here. I think those are the discrepancies. So yes, nice box set this, as you know. It's taken me 20 months to finish watching it. That said, I didn't start watching it immediately. It was probably about 6 months before I started watching it. But I've worked my way through it, and I have watched every single one on here. So you've got the slipcase, and then inside you have 2 books. You have a... I can't remember her name. D.K. Dorsley Kings Land. Is it something like that? Oh, come on. Dorling Kindersley book about Disney, which is... It's primarily aimed at younger readers, but it's a nice little history of Walt Disney, timeline of the films. Trying to see where we get to the discrepancy. Yeah, so 2011 Winnie the Pooh doesn't count over here. And I've lost... Oh, doesn't matter anyway. Yeah, so it's sort of got history. There's some nice little bits. Let me find... It's near the back. A bit about some of the Easter eggs in some of the films. Last page, isn't it? Yeah. So little things that are hidden in some of the films to look out for, which is nice. So yeah, interesting little book. But then the bulk of it, you get an information card with details of all of the contents, and then you get this huge great book. Ugh. And then 4 discs a page, working your way through. Okay. So having watched them all, beforehand, I'd probably watch just under half of these previously. Owned maybe 10 of them, tops, already. Seen a few in the cinema, but not many, because when I was growing up, Disney wasn't in the cinema a lot. Similarly, they weren't on video a lot, so that's why I hadn't seen a lot of them. But yeah, so it's interesting going through them all. You soon picked up on the, they've definitely got parent issues. Lots of the films, parents dying. But yeah, very interesting going through. I will quickly talk you through them all. So, first up, the Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. Really strong start. Great film. First film, a classic film. Really well done. Then we move on to Pinocchio, which I always sort of lose attention with about halfway through. Sort of when he gets turned into a donkey onwards, I sort of drift off a bit. Fantasia, I hate. Sorry, saw it in the cinema. Saw it on video. Just there's bits of it that I like, but overall, it's not for me. Dumbo is a masterpiece. Bambi, possibly the best film in there. Love Bambi. Beautiful film. And great story. Really moving. Yeah, love Bambi. Then we move into the war years. And the films were sort of compilation with little cartoons rather than a structured film. None of them are particularly good, but they all got moments. So we got Saludos Amigos, Three Caballeros, Make Mine Music, Fun and Fancy Free, Melody Time. Then we got The Adventures of Ichabod and Mr. Toad. And that is 2 parts. It's Sleepy Hollow, basically, which is Ichabod Crane, and then Toad of Toad Hall, and it's sort of 2 shorter films, neither of which are particularly good. Toad of Toad Hall was better of the 2. Then war finished and they started up properly again and got Cinderella, which is good but a bit slow. Alice in Wonderland, which I love, but I love Alice in Wonderland as a story anyway. Peter Pan's very strong. Lady and the Tramp's beautiful, wonderful film, another highlight. Sleeping Beauty, again a bit like Cinderella, it's a bit slow. 100 Mile Dalmatians, it's amazing. That was actually, watching it then was actually the first time I've actually watched it. Great, great, great film. Sword in the Stone, underrated, pretty strong. Jungle Book, another masterpiece. Aristocats, exactly the same, another masterpiece. Robin Hood, very strong. The Many Adventures of Winnie the Pooh. I drifted off a bit during that. I like Winnie the Pooh, but feature length was a bit too much for me. The Rescuers I loved. That's another highlight for me. Fox and the Hound, really strong. Black Cauldron, better than I thought it was going to be. Not great, but very good. Basil the Great Mouse Detective has long been a favourite of mine as a Sherlock Holmes fan. Love that film. Oliver and Company was much better than I thought it was going to be. I enjoyed that a lot. Little Mermaid, I enjoyed less than I thought I was going to. It was good, but it didn't wow me. Rescuers Down Under, not as good as the first one, but still a really strong film. Beauty and the Beast, loved. That was the first time I've seen that. I've got and seen the live action version. But yeah, really loved that. Aladdin's great. Seen it before. I saw it on video when it first came out on video. Already owned the Blu-ray. Great film. Lion King, I've said before, I don't love it. It's growing on me. The more times I've watched it, the more I've enjoyed it. But it's still, I don't see the hype. Then we got Pocahontas, which I enjoyed a lot. If you ignore the history and realise how wrong it would be if that was true to history. But yes, it's a good film. Hunchback of Notre Dame I loved. I thought that was excellent. Hercules was really strong. A lot of fun. Mulan, excellent. Really enjoyed that. Tarzan was better than I thought it was going to be. Enjoyed that a lot. Fantasia 2000 was not an improvement on the original Fantasia for me. Emperor's New Groove I liked a lot. Atlantis the Lost Empire was much better than I thought it was going to be. Lilo and Stitch, I enjoyed it a lot, but again, I was expecting a bit more. It's one that I know is a favourite of lots of people, and it wasn't quite there for me, but still enjoyed it a hell of a lot. Treasure Planet, better than I thought it was going to be. Brother Bear, that was alright. Yeah, again, it was probably better than I was expecting. As was Home on the Range, although it wasn't great. Chicken Little, I went into that thinking this is going to be terrible. Absolutely loved it. The Wild, yeah, enjoyed that a lot. Meet the Robinsons, again, was much better than I thought it was going to be. Bolt, ditto. Princess and the Frog, really good. Tangled, not quite as good. It was okay, I enjoyed it, you know, decent amount, but was lacking a certain something. Wreck-It Ralph, which I already owned, I love. Frozen, first time I watched it, because that's one I already owned, I was, again, underwhelmed, preferred it second time. Big Hero 6, I loved. Again, I went into that expecting nothing and loved it. Zootropolis, really strong. And Moana is amazing, it's one of their best films. So that's as far as this goes. This has been reissued towards the end of last year with the addition of Ralph Breaks the Internet and Frozen 2, which I do own. I haven't watched them yet, but I do own. I will now obviously continue getting them for Disney films, and I want to track down Dinosaur as well, because it is really part of it, and probably the other Winnie the Pooh, so I've got all the animated films. Yeah, so overall, those were my opinions of the films. Briefly, I didn't want to go into too much detail, obviously, because there's a lot to talk about, but I hope you found that interesting. Let me know what your favourites are, which ones you were better than you thought, which ones you were disappointed by. Thank you for watching. Like, comment and subscribe, and I'll see you in another video. Thanks. Bye.